the things we'll do for something as silly as a trucker's hat. Welcome to the Squamish 50-50. We're less than 11 hours away from the start of the 50-miler.
It all started the day before at race registration, where we got to have a look at some of the prizing, as well as register and get our wristbands, our swag bags. We also had an opportunity to purchase extra stuff if you wanted to commemorate the race, as well as enjoy a free beer from a local brewery and put a pin on a map to show where you came from.
All right, welcome to the Nestor's Market Squamish 50, presented by Solomon. This is the 6th edition of the Squamish 50, and we sold out at over 1,200 runners from around the world.
43 states, I believe, this year, and 9 provinces and territories, and 19 countries.
So as you can see, we're off. It's 5:45. The sun's just coming up. You can see the mountains all around us. It's going to be a great day out there.
As racers, we definitely got lucky with the weather this year. In spite of all the raging forest fires, the air quality was perfect and conditions were great.
So we're just over 4K in. Just running along some gravel roads. It's pretty much flat the first 11K.
Thanks to the flat opening 10K, it's a great opportunity to warm up your legs and get ready for the day ahead.
So I just popped out the first aid station, leaving there, heading into what's the first major climb of the day, called Debec Hill.
Leg 2 is an excellent opportunity to introduce racers to what they could expect for the rest of the day. The majority of this race actually takes place on mountain bike trails, so you get a fairly varied amount of terrain, including rocks and roots and lots of hills.
Made it to the top of Debec, here at the radio tower. Just about now to head down on the gravel path before we hit some more technical trails. Here at Alice Lake, coming into aid station 2.
All aid stations were amply stocked and had plenty of great volunteers to help get you what you needed.
The trails in here are just magical. Every now and again the sun filters through, shining the trail.
My views were echoed by other racers, as well as the race director himself, who had this to say.
Oh man, you know, I love Alice Lake. It's really nice through there. It's just nice, cruisy trails, but still some challenge and technical kind of stuff.
Soon enough, however, we found ourselves at aid station 3 and heading into leg 4. This is a section of the race only found on the 50-mile course and features one of Gary Robbins' favorite trails, known as Innards. It's another great, flowy mountain bike trail that has a lot of obstacles in it and great terrain to run on and feel free on your feet.
Back at aid station 3, which is the only one we see twice through the race. We get our drop bags once again and then head out on the major climb.
And what a climb it is! Leg 5 features the highest elevation gain of any section. However, don't be fooled, all the other sections also feature a fair bit of climbing, so they all have this kind of challenge. Jeff had this to say.
Galactic Scheisse is always a favorite. Love to hate that section, but yeah, it's a memorable section of the course.
So this is what I call make or break territory. You gotta trust your feet. Go down this as fast as you dare, because we're making up all that time we lost on the uphill slog.
And therein lies the truth. With every good uphill comes an equally excellent downhill, and when you're on mountain bike trails, they're all that much more exciting. At the end of the descent was another aid station, thanks to the generous support of the title sponsor, Nestor's Market, which Jeff had this to say about.
We have great aid stations, and it's entirely because of them. They just jump in and provide everything and anything we want. And it's a lot of food when you think about 1,300 people going through 50 miles.
It's ridiculous. There's way too many people here to cheer us on. Well, parting is such sweet sorrow, and when you get so many good people taking care of you, it's hard to get away, but we do have a race to finish.
With over 3/4 of the race now done, we are looking forward to wrapping things up. However, leg 7 still had some surprises in store.
So closing in on 60K, still climbing here. Starting to get a little tired, but I think we're nearly at the top of this big climb.
Although I don't have a lot of footage of it, that climb did seem to go on, and in fact, it was over 7 of the 9 kilometers of this leg. However, we did make it through that and to the next aid station and on to the next leg. Overall, leg 8 was a pretty enjoyable section. The first half featured some pretty rolling terrain with some ups and downs, but then the second half of that leg was pretty much all downhill. In addition, as you can see here, there was lots of cool mountain bike parts that we got to run across, or walk across in our case, and finally cross a gorge.
So here I am at the final aid station. I've summoned the Kraken because I was told I could do such a thing. Alright, so just finished up at the final aid station, got 10K to go. I'm going to climb the mountain of phlegm, and then we're going to do the downhill all the way to the finish.
Fueled by rum and knowing that I was on the final leg of the race, I found an extra gear for that last leg of the race. I got a lot more energy and managed to run my way to that finish line and beat my hopeful time.
Can you smell that? It smells like a finish line, doesn't it?
Folks, there is nothing better than the feeling that you get when you cross the finish line after a hard race.
Man, nicely done.
Chelsea.
Hey, what's
This
going on?
is our good friend,
Hey, Gary.
Yes.
Thanks for a good race, buddy.
Thanks for putting on our race.
I see you're going to be doing it again tomorrow. Of course.
Yeah.
Today was just a warm-up, right?
Exactly.
The other thing we do with this race, if you pick up some garbage on the trails, drop it off here and you get a free pair of Dry Max socks.
While there's plenty to see and do around the finish line area, my favorite aspect of the race was hanging around and watching other people finish their race and the emotions on their faces. However, I couldn't stay all night because I was getting up the next morning to race the next 50K race. Stay tuned for that.